with me for as long as you want me for. I have to leave for physio appointments. I haven't got like all day, but I think we've probably got more time than you'll need. So how can I help you with social media?
What you done? What you broken?
My shoulders. My shoulders are the worst part of my body. They always go.
What are you lifting?
Shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's about the only thing I can lift at the moment. The t-shirt. Yeah. So yeah, how can I help? Anything social media?
Anything social media?
Anything business, really. And if you're struggling to come up with some questions, I'll give you some things that are working right now. Would happily do that.
I'm going to create an offer, which I'm going to start on the 2nd, Thursday the 2nd, Friday the 3rd for a week.
Of January?
Yeah. Should I start doing it in January? Because I did it last year, I did it in December, but it didn't really go very well.
Yeah, as of like now, it's much harder to sell anything.
Yeah.
We normally get away with it in the first week, but after that, it's just for us. I'm not saying for everyone, Billy, but for us.
I kind of felt I got that last year.
Bit of a waste of time.
Yeah.
January's a great time. So.
Would it be just planting the seed now?
Yeah, you could do. You could say.
Yeah, seed it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's coming. I'm creating it. Get some feedback. Oh, this is happening, but I just want to dot the I's and cross the T's. I very frequently post about my offers before I make them, asking for feedback. So I'm running a poll at the moment on what I should give away with the anniversary money podcast for Thursday. Look, it's a podcast. I'm not charging anything for it. I just want loads of downloads on the day, so I can do it 2 days before. But I'll basically look at that poll, look at people's suggestions, and then ones that I can deliver that are the most commonly voted for, I'll give away. It's also, if you think about it, people now know I've got a 100th anniversary episode coming out on Thursday because I've seeded it. So I launched an offer, Billy, on the 4th of December, which was my marketing mastermind, and I got 215 applications. It was 4,800 quid. And I sold 75 and then stopped because I just couldn't handle anymore. And that was on the 4th of January, but that was my birthday.
Yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
So that had a good concept around it. So I'd probably say 2nd might be a bit early.
I'm going to go Thursday, Friday.
What dates are they?
That's Thursday the 2nd, Friday the 3rd. Then you've got the weekend.
Yeah.
Which I'll see it again, but then go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
What's your product?
Masterclass.
Okay.
Into sales teams.
Okay.
Recruitment agencies, sales teams, kick off the new year.
Is it mindset or?
All mindset, yeah. Mental boxing masterclass coming. I've got a 7-step winning formula how to produce results, world-class results for this next year.
How much is it?
$3,000. And I'm going to give a bonus. I've got some bonuses.
Yeah. Okay. You could do a week. What you'll probably find is when you open it and when you close it is when you get the highest batch of sales. You probably won't sell much on the Saturday. You might on the Sunday. Sunday evenings are a good day for promoting.
Is a week too long, you think?
Yeah, that was where I was leading to. Sorry that I'm eating. I wouldn't normally do it when I'm talking, but I'm eating all day. Let me just it feels like it's just a little bit too long.
Yeah.
I bet you'd sell the same in 4 days. Essentially, you're doing an open and shut launch.
Yeah.
So you build hype and anticipation before. You give them a good reason to get in early, and then you keep offering throughout.
Yep.
And then you give them the last warnings, and then you give them a penalty to close, i.e. price goes up, can't get any more, lose the bonuses. So I probably would do a build up. I'd probably open it Monday, Tuesday of the next week. Maybe do it Monday to Thursday. Because Friday's a fairly shit selling day.
Yeah.
Saturday's a fairly shit selling day. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are good. So you could do the pre-launch, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, open on the Monday and shut on the Thursday.
Monday the 6th, shut. Okay,
Yeah.
Where are you selling it, Philly?
Where?
Yeah.
On LinkedIn.
On LinkedIn,
Yeah.
So, selling on LinkedIn's a bit of an art form, Billy and everyone. So I'll give you a few little tips that will help you with that. If you put a link on a post on LinkedIn, it will kill the reach. So a little workaround is to make the post and then about 5 minutes later, edit a link in, because it usually doesn't detect the link if you edit it in later.
Yeah.
But I think the best way to sell on LinkedIn is to create inbound inquiries.
That's what all the call to action is. Send me a message.
Yeah, cool.
Let's arrange a conversation
Yeah.
to take it further.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm doing.
Okay, cool. Yeah. The only downside of send me a message is no one can see how many messages you've got. So I often will say tag yourself in if you're interested, and then I'll send you something via private message, because then if 70 people tag themselves in,
Yeah.
that's really good social proof. But then on the downside, if 3 people do, it looks shit.
Yeah.
So you just want to do some testing. Yeah. But you know, if you do a private message call to action, if you get 5 or 6 or 8 or 12, just put in the comments, oh, I've had 8 already and we're only 10 minutes in, and just try and get a bit of hype going. Yeah.
How are you finding TikTok, Rob?
Well, at the moment, did Kieran come and do a talk for you?
Yeah.
Cool. So at the moment, Kieran's pissing around with it for me, because I haven't really, well, I was going to say I haven't got the time. I'll coach myself. I have got the time. It's just I want to focus more on LinkedIn and Facebook, etc. But I do want to figure TikTok out. A lot of people are getting like 30,000, 50,000, 100,000 followers in 3 months. It's crazy. You're not going to get this growth reach for years, and you're not getting it on any other platform. So he's just sort of pissing around with it for me, trying to figure it out. And I said to him, look, just tell me stuff you want me to do, as long as it's not lip syncing and dancing like a metrosexual. I do that on Friday nights. Yeah. As long as it's not that, I'll give it a go. But yeah, look, we're doing LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, podcast. You know, we're doing them all, and so therefore we're probably good on most of them. We're probably not great on any one of them. If I were to say which one, I think if I had to make a general rule you should focus on the most, I'd say LinkedIn, because LinkedIn do not restrict your reach, and the platform's really impressive and it's really come on, and I'm probably getting on average 50 to 75,000 views per post now. I mean, some are 5,000, some are 10,000, some are 15,000, but some are 400,000. And I don't get that on Facebook. And I've got more followers on Facebook than I have on LinkedIn. Yeah. Sorry, go on.
Do you think you reach a different audience on there as well?
Yeah, I mean, you do. You reach a different audience on each platform. I mean, some are on all, some are on more than one. But if you were to categorize it, I mean, I find LinkedIn, you find people more ready to do business on LinkedIn, but you also find more opinionated critics on LinkedIn. I don't have that many opinionated critics on Facebook at all. The people who follow me on Facebook tend to be 99% my fans. But because LinkedIn spread your reach further, it reaches people who aren't your followers and fans. So by definition, you're going to attract all and sundry. Yeah. By the way, don't be scared of having critics on your posts. They're good for the algorithms because they get the comments flowing. So if you get a bit of critiquing, ask them to expand on what wanker means, and you know, get them in commenting again. Dance with them, tease them, flirt with them.
Bait them.
Yeah, exactly. Like those of us that are in the Social Lifetime group and we post our links and we're asking for comments, well, our critics are great for that. So stoke them. I mean, Mike Winnett tags a load of people in that he wants to get involved in his conversation. He just knows how to stir the pot. So you can learn from that.
Yes, if you tag them in, then they're going to generally...
Oh, he's doing that to me all the time. Yeah, he puts me in his videos, Mike Winnett does.
Right.
Yeah, he loves it. He's trying to leverage my following.
Yeah.
Cheeky bastard. I'm going to send you over.
Do you comment back?
Jab, jab, right hook, bang, put him down. Oi, Winnett.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Do you comment back?
Depends. Like, if I think I'm getting goaded, probably not. I like to show that I can handle critics in different ways. Sometimes ignore, on my terms. Sometimes respond elegantly, politely. Sometimes see it from their point of view. Sometimes say, no, you're wrong. and these are the facts, but not in an emotional way. And other times banter. So he put on there, that LinkedIn deleted one of his posts and they're banned using the word cock on LinkedIn. And I said, well, how am I going to address you now? And I thought it was quite good. I quite liked it. And yeah, so I just sort of, some of it depends on your mood. Sometimes if you get drawn in, you know you're going to lose a weekend, so you just don't bother. Other times I just go make one post and then leave. Yeah.
Rob, can I just ask you, because you've got quite a different sort of clientele on Facebook compared to LinkedIn, do you think it's that if you've got the same promotion, you should change how you promote it on?
Right, so I think there's different steps and levels. So in an ideal world, the smart social media strategy is to post unique content per platform, for variety, and B, that works on each platform. Like on LinkedIn, if you post about recruitment or job or employment, that's always going to do well, because it's that kind of platform. Whereas on Facebook, they're more opportunity seekers and startup people. So that's where you want to get to in the end. But that takes work. So the level before that is just to repurpose content across all media. Because if you're posting once a day on Facebook but once a week on LinkedIn, just copy some of your Facebook posts onto LinkedIn. Do them at different times, change the title, and you'll, it'll be better than doing nothing.
Yeah.
So step 0 is actually posting content. The next level is posting content, copy, paste, repurpose on multi-platforms. The next level is unique content to each platform. The next level beyond that is unique content, knowing how each platform works on each platform. But hey, look, just do what you can do, but just move up those. Just do it.
Would you say it's more important to post, so repurpose content across social media platforms, or would you say it's more important to, because we've been doing that for ages now it's trying to get to that next level up, but I know if I stop repurposing it, the content is going to drop, levels are going to drop, but the quality of the content might go up. How would you sort of gauge that?
Okay, so let's say you've been repurposing, and on most social media platforms you've been posting most of your stuff. What I would start to do is vary the times. So I'd build a bank of, let's say you're doing a week ahead of content. Let's say you had 7 pieces of content. I'd post piece 1 on LinkedIn, piece 2 on Facebook, piece 3 on Instagram, video 4 on YouTube, and rotate it daily. Do you see what I mean? So instead of going same post, all platforms, that's better than not, but it's not that elegant. And if people follow multi-platforms, they'll see that. They don't always have a problem with that, by the way, but they'll see that. So the next one is rotation. And then the next one, so I did a post this morning on Facebook about when they say be true to yourself. And I'll do that on LinkedIn and Instagram this week as well, but I'll do one on Thursday and one on Sunday.
Separate, you're alive.
Yeah. So what if I was going to live on, if I decided in my mind, I'm going to live on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Let's say decided. I'd go live, do the content, share, go immediately live on the next platform, do the content, share, and then go immediately live on the next platform, do the content, share. So bish, bash, bosh on all the platforms. It's done. It's a bit annoying having to do the same content 3 times, but it's done. But that's better than only doing it on one platform. But it's not that elegant. So what I'll do now is, I'll do it on the Facebook on Monday, on the LinkedIn on the Thursday, and on Instagram on the Sunday. The next level of mastery is this piece of content is only for Facebook. It won't ever go on LinkedIn and Instagram because I know it works for Facebook. This piece of content will only go on LinkedIn, and this piece of content will only go on whatever other platform. And then once you get to that level of content, you can bank a month or 2 in advance. So I've got my outsourcer posts for me on LinkedIn, but he's got 2 weeks worth of bank content from me. Now sometimes I'll tell you what Facebook is really good for. It's good for a lot of things, but it's really good for this. It shows you a post that you did 1 year ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago. And so you get reminded a lot. So if you post a lot on Facebook And you almost see Facebook as your test. Post a lot on Facebook, and every now and again you'll get one, and it'll go wild. And Facebook is going to remind you of that next year and the year after and the year after. So when it reminds you, copy paste it and post it on LinkedIn.
Got it, yeah.
Quick win. So I got one today which had 12 shares and 90 comments on my profile on Facebook, which is a lot for a profile because you can only have 5,000 on a profile. And I immediately sent it to my guy and said, I'll put it on LinkedIn. And he said, I've got a bank, so I'll put it in the bank and do it later. Yeah. I would definitely start getting used to having a VA publishing your content, because what a lot of people try and do is use the platforms, you know, that can schedule them. But I like having someone, because I can instruct them. Change that text 30%, change the title of that, post that then, put that in the bank, and then, you know, you can think, oh, I think this will be good on LinkedIn this week. And then you go to VA and go, what have we got in the bank for the next 7 days? And they'll go, da-da-da-da. And then you go, I'll tell you what, put this one in today. Like if you posted about the Anthony Joshua fight on the night or the day after on LinkedIn, you'd have got loads of reach. You don't want that in a week, because it's done. So as you get a week ahead of banked, you get way more choice on what you can do and how you do it, and way more rotation. Also, Facebook's your testing ground. If it got a lot of reach on Facebook, it's probably more likely to get a lot of reach on LinkedIn. Not guaranteed, but probably more likely. So LinkedIn is brilliant for newsjacking. I know I've taught you all this, but let's just say it again, because LinkedIn is the one platform where it's a real leveler, where you could get more reach than Bill Gates if you wrote a good post and he didn't. I think Bill Gates is the most followed person on LinkedIn, give or take. He's got 23 million. But you could have a post that gets more reach than Bill Gates if his post isn't liked by the algorithms and yours is. Where else on what other social media platform can you do that? You can't. So newsjacking is just creating energy, emotion, debate on what's hot in the news that everyone's talking about. And the hotter it is, the more reach it will get. And the more controversial it is, the more reach it will get. Now, I'll tell you what works really well on LinkedIn from my testing. Anything about women, or, you know, a debate about the sexes. By the way, be prepared for some... yeah. I'm not saying a word, but you know what I mean.
And I got dragged into that backlash. Thank you very much.
Anything that debates religion, politics, veganism, you know, all of that kind of stuff. You know, stuff where people go Labour or Conservative, veganism or, you know, or paleo or whatever. You know, where people are left or right, Apple or Samsung.
Yeah.
That they are always good on LinkedIn. You just have to be brave and not worry so much if you get resistance. But it's, you know, do you want reach? If you want reach, you're going to have resistance. Something that's big in the news, like Tyson Fury. You know, when he got knocked out clean and got up on second 9. Oh man, that was LinkedIn gold. Anyone could post on that and get 1 million views. When Donald Trump was in the early days of being controversial, anyone could post on that and get 1 million views. You know, if you made the post right. So boxing and MMA, Conor McGregor when he lost and then won again, that was huge. Any scandal? You know, if there's a scandal, you can comment on it. Now, what I like to do is comment on it and create debate. So I try and write a relatively neutral statement and say, what are your thoughts? It's not always that easy to write neutral, and sometimes writing it I think, oh, I could drop a little bomb in here. And I know what I'm doing, and I make it slightly non-neutral. But at least if it's relatively neutral, I can say, look, I did think about this carefully and word it carefully.
And when you do this, do you think it draws more connections in?
100%. Yeah. So I did a post, which it was a few days ago. It's the 4-year anniversary of me crashing my Ferrari into that building. And actually, my VA wrote the post, completely wrote the post and put the newspaper article there. And last time I looked, it had 400,000 views. It also got put on there's a parody Twitter account which gets a lot of reach called The State of the LinkedIn Address. And they parody and take the piss out of stuff, and it got posted on there. It's the second time I've been on there. And whilst most people are like, oh, this is horrible, they're trolling me, this is fucking great for my reach. Tweet all you like about me. And I've seen that post shared around a hell of a lot. And some of my critics have grabbed it and gone, oh, look at him, wanker. Rich wanker though. Yeah.
Be honest, Rob.
Yeah. It's good to be honest. Know thyself, love thyself. Yeah.
On LinkedIn, we've got posts, articles, documents, videos and lives.
Yeah, if you can get live.
Yeah, which I can't at the minute, they won't give it to me. On posts, articles, documents and videos, and I know there's pages and groups, I'm not going to go down that route. What's the different reaches and
Good question. Right, so I have learned something from the horse's mouth about this. So when I started doing lives, when it was new and fresh, I was getting 20,000 views on the first day. That's good. That's really good. And I just thought, oh, I'm just made. And I was doing lives every day. And then they started to drop and people started to moan because you get notified and it's new and glitchy. And now if I do a live, I'll get 4,000 to 5,000 views and it will take 3 days, 2 days to get there. So it's kind of not as effective. And I'm finding now, for the majority, if I do a 2 to 3 minute video, it'll get more reach than a live.
okay,
At the moment.
yeah,
It changed and it might change again. Text posts generally get the most reach. Like if I were to add it up and average it, text posts would get the most reach.
yeah,
But documents is something that's just taken off.
yeah,
So when you the trick for documents is to write a Word document, but put your 10 bullet points, 1 per page. So if if you're going to write 10 ways to be happy, and you might have like, spend an hour a day in nature. Make sure you hang around with positive people, blah, blah, blah. Instead of just writing a post, you get a Word document, you put 10 ways to be more happy in big text, filling most of the page, and you put each point, maybe with a little line of explanation, 1 per page. You PDF it, you upload it, and what it does is it takes it from vertical, makes it horizontal and turns it into a slideshow. And every click that moves you from slide to slide, LinkedIn give you an organic score for. So the click counts for increased reach.
Yeah, was that an organic score? What do you mean by that?
Well, no one knows exactly, but LinkedIn will give you a score, which will, the higher your score, the more it will increase your reach. And a like will give you a score, let's say 1, a comment, let's say 2, a share, let's say 3,
Right.
a click on the next slide might be 0.5. I don't know, but I've been told that it counts. So I tested this and I did a slide share, which was literally just 10 ways to go to the toilet, whatever.
Yeah.
And it was just taking a list of content and putting it into slides. And in the first 2 days, it had 15,000 reach, which is good. And if I'd have put it in bullet form, on average, it might have got 6,000 or 8,000. So it's probably got double the reach. It's easy to do.
yeah. And is it just PDFs? Can you do it like PowerPoints?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, I mean,
JPEG?
I think you can. Yeah,
I have a PDF done. Can I just put that in there?
yeah. You just upload it, and then it takes it from page 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and makes it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And that's all in LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
You just
in
upload it as a document.
It's in documents.
Oh, okay.
When you
Is
go, when you go
Is it
to
easy enough to do?
Yeah. You know when you when you go into your feed and it has I can't remember, it's got posts, videos, documents, articles. They're little tabs, light blue with white writing. They come up like that. Let me see if I can find it and show you.
Just looking on mine.
Yeah, I mean, you could put lead magnets on there. The only thing is you don't want the text too small because you want them to be able to see it and read it from within the feed.
Yeah.
I mean, they might take it and download it. I don't know if you can download someone else's document. I guess you probably can. Let me see if...
But you can do it on the phone.
Right.
Here you go. Look. Oh, it's just gone. It was there.
It's right down the bottom on the add a document. When you go into
What,
post.
Of your home page.
No, you go to the
Look, here you go. Look. So you've got your page there. Look, all activity, articles, posts, documents, interests. Let me go back and see if I can do what I pressed on mine.
Well, I saw one go on the long way as well. So I mean,
That's it, yeah. Oh, yeah,
Right, so
down
press
there.
home. Let's start from the same place. Let's see if I can do it. That one.
That one.
That's it. View profile.
portrait.
View
I
profile.
think it's probably
Scroll down to see all activity.
See all.
There you go.
I don't know. I've not done it.
They're there.
So then,
No, because you
So documents.
Oh, do you?
So that's where they'll come.
so what my document that's in there, how do I find it?
Well, you'll just click that and it will show you all your documents. Like if you click posts, it shows you all your posts.
I think.
I think you just probably need to refresh it, but
I use it on my PC. And I haven't used it yet, but I've looked at it on the
oh look. But Billy, just simply look. You know when you go to write a post. So let's go to home.
Go.
That's it. Write a post.
Yep.
Add a document.
Whenever I do like an Arctic photo,
Let's take a picture.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I've got 10 on at once.
Go again. So there.
Yeah, you can on Instagram, can't you? And
Go
and
home.
then you get the word and CSR for companies.
Yeah. So write post.
CSR for companies.
Right post.
Add a document.
Add a document.
People follow your ambition lower.
Oh, there it is. So there it is. Yeah.
For a
What about
product,
28 books?
if the company,
I get my VA to do it, mate. So
So then I've done that. So then,
people will pay more for a company
yeah.
Is that gonna be-
Add a title.
promoting CSR.
Here you go. Look.
Oh, that's-
Look. There you go. It's doing it for you, look, mate. Have a share, mate. But there's too much text in that. You got to simplify it right. I mean, you could try, and then they can see it. But you could create 10 versions of that just because you want to be able to read the text there without having to zoom in.
Put it on your own website,
oh, okay.
and they'll give you a little
So one that if that was a full page, wouldn't I read that?
Maybe. I mean, you could just test it. Put a title and upload it. You could just test it.
It could be a PowerPoint presentation as well as a doc. Just a,
Yeah?
Yeah, couldn't it?
I'll test it.
What's the sweet spot of posting every day on each platform? Is it like 2 pieces of content?
I've just been asked what's the sweet spot. For LinkedIn, I'm finding 1 a day is the sweet spot. A couple of top tips. I'm learning so much about LinkedIn, and the more I learn, the more excited I am about the platform. So I have done a lot of testing. It might be slightly different for you because it'll be different based on how many followers we've got. You may be more or less. But when I got to 1 a day, I hit a rough optimum posting volume. So I went from 3 a day to 4 a day to 5 a day. Sorry, yeah. 3 a week to 4 a week to 5 a week. I was going up and up and up and testing. And then the reach was going up and up. And I got to 1 a day, great. And then when I got to 2 a day, it was too many and it was killing the reach. So we went back to 1 a day.
What time do you post on? Have you tested the time?
Yeah, I've got my
Start us in.
Wow. Let's see how it goes.
So that's.
Ooh. Ooh.
Well, it's coming, won't it?
Yeah. He'll come back next month. I got 3 views. Fuck this. Yeah.
Rubbish.
Yeah.
Well, what's commission? As you said.
I hope.
Do you ever post articles? I know you're trying to-
Yeah, I do. Now, the upside of articles is they stay there forever
Yeah.
and they get viewed steadily. The
Yeah.
downside is they don't get a lot of user engagement straight away. So if you've got evergreen stuff,
Yeah.
I mean, you could take articles you've written going way back when and post 1 a week for the next 20 weeks. Just don't get a bit disheartened if they don't have the same comments. But over time, they'll build up.
And I suppose you could upload your document, which is in your feed, whatever. But you could, if that was the right thing, also upload that as an article.
Yeah, or rewrite it as an article, yeah. Yeah?
Because the posts disappear, don't they? It's
Yeah, over time.
book feed, isn't it?
Yeah.
The way okay.
Trying to find the times.
What about
Whoa, I'm still on your times. Me Julie.
Well, LinkedIn's platform.
Yeah, let's smash LinkedIn.
Ah, hang on. Now I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, I think so.
And
Oh, that was the previous question, wasn't it? I got a bit excited, sorry. No, I'm not apologising. Not sorry, I got a bit excited.
can't find it. I don't know why.
You've only got to look at your post and see what time you posted, haven't you?
Yeah, sorry about
I
that.
think the social calendar I was sent, I think LinkedIn's often first thing was 7 something in the morning, and then about lunchtime.
Yeah, but we're only doing one a day.
Well, you pick one a day. Just pick one of them.
So who do you market to on LinkedIn, Rob? Is it professional business people? What's your...
Okay, so my demographic is CEOs, MDs, entrepreneurs, business owners, startups, scale-ups, etc.
So if I copied your Times...
Yeah, you copy the Times and then test
Yeah, okay.
and just look at what gets the best response. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Definitely in the day, not as good as morning or evening.
Because people are on the train.
Yeah, or at work or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Wicked. Anything else I can help you with?
Promo videos, I know you're testing at the moment.
Yeah, the Grant Cardone promo videos seem to get some decent interest.
Looks great.
Yeah, we've hired 2 new videographers. We've got lots of videographers now, so we're trying to up our game. That podcast was by 850 downloads, our highest downloaded day of the year. So it was a good day, and that sort of stuff must have had an impact. Probably a lot of different things had an impact. The podcast's getting really good downloads now. It's going up and up and up. Consistent posting. Grant Cardone's a pull.
It's like a pre-launch, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Do you think you could overuse that because you've got loads of products, loads of services? How often do you think you'll use that?
I don't know. I just keep testing. You get a sense when things are being overused because they're not as effective anymore. People stop talking about them. People stop engaging with it. People start getting a bit annoyed by it. I mean, look, they're not going to get annoyed by a post that you do on Facebook or whatever, but if they stop commenting on it, and it just doesn't seem to have any kind of impact, then we'll probably stop doing it. Or we might just do it for our bigger guests. I suppose it depends on the perception of bigger, but yeah.
What was the rationale? Because I've listened to the beginning part, I haven't listened to all of it yet, but it's the second time you've interviewed Grant.
Yeah.
You've said you don't normally do that.
I've done it with about 4 or 5 guests. So I do it with guests I really like, I get on with. I think there's more to say. I maybe felt like we didn't cover as much as I'd wanted him. Like every time I sit down with John DeMartini, I could talk with him for years. So I did the first one and I just felt like, right, I want to go again. So I'd do a third one with Dr. John. Kevin Clifton, the same. Good mates with him. Just sit down and talk for hours. Grant, the same. So if I feel like I could talk for hours, and if I wouldn't do a guest again if I thought I could get no new or different or interesting content out. So I've got to like them. I've got to think like, we could have got way more out of that. Like I'll go with Jordan Peterson again because we could have got way more out of that. So yeah, they're probably the drivers. Yeah.
Do you think doing 2 or 3 or however many you end up doing, whoever you end up doing with it, will then appeal, because you get to know them more, the interview becomes more friendly because you get to know them more.
Yeah.
Do you think that would then appeal to your audience more because you are then friends with the person?
I'd like to say yes, but I couldn't say exactly because I don't know. I haven't spoke to everyone.
Yeah.
But I think if you lined up the 2 interviews, you could see Grant and I have developed a relationship.
You could hear it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Which you wouldn't in the first. And I think fans of my podcast like to see my evolution as well as the guests.
Yeah.
So if you listen to my podcast every week and you're interested in it and you see me infiltrating very successful people and building relationships and stuff. That in and of itself is quite an interesting journey to watch. I mean, if you're not a follower or a fan of mine, then that probably has no interest to you. So I definitely think that for sure. Yeah, Grant was on one of my lives, watching one of my lives on Instagram yesterday, and I think people would find that interesting. Yeah, I mean, it was last summer, so it was still a fair way away when I did the first one with Grant. So what's that? Nearly 18 months between the two. With Dr. John DeMartini, it was 3 years between the two. With Kev Clifton, it was 2 years between the two. I mean, I listen to some podcasts, especially NPR, James Altucher. Like, James Altucher has had I forget his name, but the guy who created the Dilbert character 4 times. It's too much. And I suppose unless the content's completely different, I suppose he has been doing it for years. In 10 years, might I interview Grant 4 times? Maybe, so, yeah. Cool.
How will you, with your team, how do you track what's doing well and what isn't on every social media platform? Do you designate, I don't know if your team have a different time to do it, or
okay.
it's multiple people to one platform, if you know what I mean? Or
Yep. So every week, Kieran sends me stats of the growth of all of my channels. So you can't, not on all channels can you see growth. On Facebook you can, because you can go to your page dashboard and it'll tell you how many likes you've had this week, engagements this week, shares this week. I'm not sure you can do that with LinkedIn, but you can just see the followers that you had last Monday, note it, and then note it this Monday. So Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, our Facebook groups, Twitter, YouTube, we get a report basically on the growth from last week. So that's one way to measure. You want them to feel that your platforms are growing. We always check downloads on a podcast, reach on a Facebook post as well as views. They have views on LinkedIn, which on a text post is probably reach as well. That's not rain, is it? Oh, okay. So, look, I won't get Kieran to put a report on the reach and the engagement of every post because it's too much. But, you know, me, my VA, Kieran, we obviously look at all the posts and we figure out what's getting good reach. And we're like, okay, that got good reach. Why do we think that is? Can we do more like that? What can we learn from that?
Do you target each week getting more followers to put a target on that?
Yeah, I suppose we'd probably target for my brand 300 new followers a day. So it's that 2,100 a week. We've been up to 600 a day. We've been down to 150 a day. Depends if you've got a promotion. If it's just organic, it's going to be probably nearer 300 a day. If I'm giving away bonuses for subscribing to my channels, it could be 600 a day plus. So yeah, we are tracking that all the time. Because it's not just vanity. They're a lead. Yeah, exactly. I just did a big cleanse on my LinkedIn, and I'm going to teach my son how to do this. He's 8, so he can do it for the future, and I can start getting him paid. But I basically went through, my VA did it first, and then I went and did it after. I went through all my connections, all 30,000, and deleted anyone who wasn't a CEO, entrepreneur, start-up, scale-up, MD, blah, blah, blah. Now, if I was on the fence, I left them. But, you know, if they were like random abroad or just someone who is not in that demographic, I removed them. Now, I was maxed at 30,000 connections, so I had to have a goal. And yeah, I might have accidentally lost some connections who like me, but it would have only been a handful. Remember, they can still follow you. But you know, if you're not at your max connections yet, it doesn't matter too much. But what you want to do is you want to be able to accept people who want to connect with you, who are either influencers or who are your target demographic. So if you just accept everyone, now you could do that for a bit just to get your connections up, but then if you do that, you'll have to have a big cleanse. And you want to make sure you've got your follow turned on so that you can have follows as well as connections. I don't know how to do it, but I know it can be done, and I know not everyone's done it, which means that people can follow you and just see your stuff, but you don't see theirs, like on Facebook. And influencers do that when they get to their 30,000 maximum connections.
Is LinkedIn the same as Facebook, whereas if you don't accept the connection, they automatically become a follower?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I guess probably not, but I don't know. Yeah. David.
How's the Facebook subscriptions going?
Really good. Got nearly 2,500 supporters, which I'm happy with. I mean, you always want more, don't you? But that's a lot of people to manage, especially when you're giving them bonuses every day like I am.
Where are they?
Yeah, I know.
Don't you better sort that for jobs, like act quick, Rob.
Start now, get perfect later. Yeah. At least you cannot say I don't practice what I preach. So, hey, look, I'm way over delivering. And if I was to start again, I might do it slightly different. But I mean, I'm one of only a few people who have Facebook supporter in the whole country. I mean, I know two other people who've got them, and they had like 400 supporters, and they've got much bigger following than me. So if I measure them against those, I must be doing really well. Yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying it.
Are you targeting to get more subscribers though?
Not really yet. No, I haven't. I've just, at the moment, just picked the low-hanging fruit, if you like. You can't boost a post if you have a supporter link in it or the supporter button on Facebook. They clearly don't yet want you to run ads for it. So you can't actually do that. Otherwise, I would have done. I've done some sense to the email database to get people to do supporters, but at the moment, I'm guessing it's mostly going to be people who are already on Facebook because there's no friction there. And we'll see how it goes. Like, if I was going to give Facebook some feedback, which I will because I now have an account manager, I think they should allow you to do multiple levels. I chose the lowest price level because I just wanted to go really quickly and build it fast. But now I've kind of built a rod for my own back where people expect like everything for £3.49. And so I've probably gone a bit too far. I've created some monsters in the support program. Yeah, there's a couple of people in one of the WhatsApp groups today. Where are my bonuses? Yeah. No, you saw it, did you? Yeah. I know. For fuck's sake, it's £3.49. Holy shit! But obviously, I can't say that.
I still want my bonus.
Yeah.
I do, but I'm happy to wait for it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, everyone. Yeah. I mean, this is all new, but I'm trying to figure it out as we go. What I found is doing the challenges has really grown it. That's been the best stroke of accidental genius. So if I was telling people about the supporter program, doing a post in some of my groups or whatever, you might get 20 new supporters in a day or something like that. You might get lucky and get 40. But when I did these 6-day then 8-day make cash challenges, if I promoted that over 4 days, I'd get 100 to 150 new supporters a day.
Wow.
So that really grew it. And the first time I got 950 new supporters when I promoted the Make Cash Challenge. The second time I got 400 new supporters, or 450. So, like having another angle to promoting the supporter program has really helped, because I guess initially people have joined it just to take part in the challenge and then hopefully stayed beyond that. But I feel like they'll scale it. I feel like they'll go with it. It's definitely working for me. And so I wouldn't see why they wouldn't want to scale it. It's good news for us all, because if we can get all of us can get these functions, you can get paid for your content.
All like a Netflix.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, like I just on Patreon you can have multiple levels. And so now, knowing what I know now, I do the basic $3.49 a month level. But if you want to attend any events that I offer, it'd be the $9.99 or a different level, because people started to not value those events as much as they should, because I was giving so many away. So I sort of inadvertently reduced the perception of value. Yeah. Cool. Anything else?
I've got another one.
Yeah, far away.
How much do you think that your activities on social media have grown Progressive Property and, well, Progressive as a whole?
I am Progressive's third highest lead source behind email database sends and Facebook ads. We spend 120 grand a month on Facebook ads. We ain't fucking paying me 120 grand a month for my lead generation, I can tell you that. So, yeah, that's the last time I looked at this, well, a little while ago now, but yeah, so I'm probably ranking third, fourth as our highest lead source. Like, I was in Cayman doing the Cayman Legacy last, let's say February it was. And I always like, when I'm around clients who spent a lot of money with me, I always like to ask them, where did you initially find me? And a couple of them were via Progressive, but most of them were your book or your podcast, or one of the books or the podcast. Yeah.
So do you include becoming the author as part of the social media stuff?
Well, it could be or it couldn't be, because it depends. But I mean, obviously launch the books on social media, but it could be that they found me via Amazon.
Yeah, okay.
Or it could be that they were on the database and I sent them to the book, but then they would have said the database. Can you remember where you found us?
It would have been through Facebook, probably, because I came to one of the MSOPs, like the first one.
Yeah.
And then I joined up to the VIP.
Yeah. Yeah.
2011, 12 maybe.
Yeah. So you think through Facebook?
I was already in the property world. It would have, it would have been Facebook. It would have been Progressive Community Group, or I was already in the property. Yeah, it would have been Facebook.
Yeah.
It would have been Facebook back then.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So that's groups.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's social media, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you spent a bit with us, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
It's a crap.
Yeah. I'll get you one with Julie. Yeah. Yeah.
Probably not spent as much as some people.
No. So this is why I persist with all this social media.
Yeah.
Because, you know, if you think about it, if you put your marketing hat on, it's the top of the funnel, isn't it?
And it's interesting, actually, just saying that, because I was with you, 2012, something like that, and then I took a bit of a break. And I've recently come back because of what you're doing. I say come back, I've
Yeah.
been around, but
Yeah.
because of what you've been doing on social media.
Yeah.
About social media.
Yeah.
So the agency and the podcasting, and that's how I've got back into it. And the business courses you've started to run.
Yeah.
That's how I got back in.
Yeah.
So it wasn't through the property side, it's through the other side.
The social media stuff works, definitely. And by the way, as you get all these new features, I know it's sometimes a bit of a bind to learn them. Some people love figuring them out. I don't. I just want someone to show me how to do it and it work. I don't want to figure it out for myself. But I was doing a live, and I don't know if you've ever heard of Gymshark.
Yes.
Massive clothing brand. Yeah, and the guy, Ben Francis, the owner, was watching my live and private messaged me. Grant Cardone's watching my live yesterday. So putting yourself out there a lot, you're surprised who's watching you.
Just don't know, do you?
Yeah, you don't know. And you put yourself out there enough, you'll find some really interesting, influential people who'll follow you.
Does celebrity status help? I'm thinking, have you been, you're a world heavyweight, no, heavyweight.
World heavyweight. Yeah, knock you out for that.
A world champion. Does
Yeah.
it help your, I know you've
Yeah, it does,
challenged-
because on LinkedIn I've got former world champions, so
Yeah.
when I'm connected with people, they kind of see that. Because I did test that actually, I did change that.
Yeah.
And then I put former world champion in the headline, and that made a big difference. For
Brilliant.
connections, yeah. It helps, but it ain't everything because you
No,
got.
of course, no.
what
Still got to work.
You got. What is it that what value am I bringing?
Yeah.
Because
You've
that's
still
all.
got to be good at
It's all.
the
It's
stuff
kind of.
you do.
It's kind of half a foot in the door, but you still got to have the other thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because some of us are creating celebrity, and some of us have already got it, but in a different field as well, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It's how you.
It's different, yeah.
it's probably easier than ever to create it. You know, you could call it celebrity or expert status or positioning or whatever. But, you know, people, like, I was going to the train station and someone grabbed me and, all right, Rob, I'll follow you on LinkedIn. Yeah, that, like, yeah. And 5 years ago, I never got recognised for anything. And I get recognised everywhere now, and it's usually for my podcast. But now people are, oh, I'll follow you on LinkedIn.
Oh, okay.
About 5 years ago, would you not have been recognised for putting a Ferrari through something?
That was 4 years ago, Mark. So this precedes that.
It's the consistency. It's the consistency.
Yeah,
that makes it.
you don't have to be sorry, Mark. It's all good. Yeah, it is the consistency. And you know what? When we launched our podcast, it had a good start. And then we relaunched it and had a good start. And it probably had that 9 months where it was just chugging. And we were all like, why isn't it growing? Why isn't it growing? Why isn't it growing? And the growth isn't like that.
Yeah.
It's sort of just consistently putting stuff out there.
So that's what I've noticed by using the social media. So daily videos.
Yeah.
About 6-7 months in, I've had my best month ever in November.
Great.
So
Well done.
that's all off the back of that.
Yeah.
That consistent activity, and it's I just
You
reached
do.
a tipping point now.
You do
Yeah.
it daily as well.
Daily, they're going out daily, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I've just noticed a tipping point
Yeah.
because of the videos, and everyone, and now you don't know who's watching them and who's looking at them because they're out there all the time. It's making a big difference.
Yeah.
That's so worthwhile coming this afternoon. It's interesting because I've been watching a woman on Facebook. I say I've been watching her. I don't follow her.
Is
But
it
she
Liz
keeps a pic-
Bateson?
Huh?
Liz Bates?
No, a woman called Melissa Piers or something, and she keeps appearing in my feed, and
Yeah.
I'm not looking. But I've seen her so many times now. I'm
Yeah.
actually beginning to think, who is she?
Yeah.
But it's because I keep seeing her,
No.
I'm not listening to anything she's saying. But I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
You can't not,
it's
can
just
you?
the repetitiveness.
Yeah. Even if they don't engage, they scroll, they see you in the mind. Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to be everywhere. Yeah. Constant volume. But a great thing about LinkedIn is they will just, your reach could just go wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you think your face should always be on it then? Something about you that's recognisable.
Maybe. I mean,
you as the person.
it could be. I mean, if
You are your business, aren't you?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say always, because I think it's good to try and create variety on social media. I think the algorithm will figure you out if you do the same thing every time. You do follow some people on Instagram where all they do is photograph themselves. And then there's this text is not related to this photo of you, but it's just a photo of you all the time. And it just, I don't know, it might be a personal thing, but I think that's a bit fucking weird. So if it's a text post, make it a text post. But videos of you, occasional photos of you, fine, yeah. But maybe just rotate it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm way more comfortable doing a video of me because I'm doing something and I'm active and I'm giving content, not just a...
Yeah.
All right, cool. Right, I've got to go and get some physio.
Thank you, Rob.
Happy Christmas.
Yeah, you too. Thanks for coming, everyone. We're going to not dramatically, but next year we're going to grow this academy a little bit. It's nice when it's small, but it's also nice when there's a few more bodies in the room.
Yeah.
We've got some ideas of that. So thank you for being a part of it.
Thank you for putting it on.
That's all right. I mean, we're stuck with a lot of you for life, aren't we? So, yeah. Give as good as you get, Mark.
I'll try.
Yeah. Thanks, Abby. Always a pleasure. Never a chore. No worries.